Now, the first episode of the JoyNews Special Assignment on crimes that shook the nation aired on Tuesday. Who Killed the Judges told the story of the brutal murder of 3 High Court judges and a retired army officer. After the broadcast, however, we've been inundated with an avalanche of both positive reviews and, of course, questions from political motive to political sense. On current affairs show Ghana Connect on your superstation Joy 99.7 FM later this evening, Evans Mensah will host editor of the Inside newspaper Kwesi Pratt, historian Dr. David Percy, and 3 young people who have interesting views on the documentary. Joining me in the studio right now is Evans Mensah. Evans is going to tell us about this special edition of Ghana Connect. What time is it? And why people should pay attention to it at all.
So it's at 6 p.m. To 7 on 99.7 FM. Pay attention to it because obviously the conversations we've seen this week has been there's a lot of emotions involved. But fundamentally, I watched it, and what I took out from it, growing up, you hear about the killing of the 3 judges. I have never paid attention to the details in terms of why it happened, who were the judges. Yeah, you see it in books, historical books, but you know, reading sometimes doesn't do justice as much as when you watch it in video and you hear the sounds and people talk to it. So for me this week, I have had that experience of, wow, these guys died for something. I mean, they knew what they were doing would put their lives in danger. They didn't stop because they believed that rule of law had to be upheld at the peril of their own lives. In fact, they were killed, bodies burnt, etc. As a young person myself, I was born in 83, so that's exactly, I think this happened in June or so of 82.
Yeah, 36 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would have been a few months old when it happened. There's no way I would have known about it apart from people talking about it on radio, etc., etc. And so I'm asking myself, well, in 2018, would I be prepared to die for my country the way they laid down their lives for this country, to fight for the Constitution and to sort of uphold the rule of law? Would I be in a position to die for this country, for anything of value that is important to this country? I don't know what the answer to that is. I'm being honest with you. So I thought maybe we should put together young people like myself who didn't experience the murder and what happened around that time, and have amongst them 2 senior people who Kwesi Pratt lived through the revolution. He was part of the revolution. He's seen it all. And a historian like David Percy, who is also very outspoken, and see how the generation of old and this current generation sort of interact on this highly sensitive matter and have a conversation about this country. Without these deaths, without the lives that they laid down for us, without the blood that they shed, there's no way Ghana would have arrived at 2018 as a democracy worth emulating. And it's time, I guess, to reflect and ask ourselves whether these values that these 3 judges stood for are still values that the Ghanaian, today's young Ghanaian, upholds, respects, is willing to die for. That's a conversation that we're going to have. And if we are to sort of survive in the next 36 years as a country, entrench our democracy, build a developed country, etc., those sort of values that cause them to stand up against oppressors' rule, which is in our national anthem, and fight, are absolutely necessary. So we're going to gauge that. Where are we in terms of that Ghanaian spirit? And this is it's not for anything that we find it in our anthem, that you know we should get the strength to fight oppressors' rule. You can define oppressors' rule in many forms. It includes anything you see in society that you feel is some sort of an injustice. You should be in a position to stand for it and say, no, I won't let this happen.
Okay.
But would this generation be in a position to do that? I don't know.
Evans, I'll come back to you, Siri Rapper. But let me announce these. We promised you earlier that we'll be doing this quiz about the documentary, and we have something to give for those who will win. So we have a couple of questions that you see the number on the screen at the moment. You need to give us a call and answer some of these questions. Who were the judges that were killed? Who killed the judges? Who was the army general among them? Who were those accused? Who was the attorney general at the time the judges were killed? Who was the head of the Special Investigative Board? Who was the former police officer? These are questions that I'll be throwing to you. If you know the answers, give me a call and then we'll take you through that. Evans, let's wrap up with you on what to expect on Ghana Connect today. So we have 2 senior people, 3 young people. What should people take away from this conversation?
I'm hoping essentially to get the young generation reflecting on how far we've come and what it took this country to get where we are, so that we don't take for granted this democracy that we hold dear. That is, I guess, what I'm hoping that we would all take away from the conversation when it's done. I want to hear from the young ones, the current generation, about their own expectations of this country. We are asking a simple question, really: are we willing? In 2018, is a young Ghanaian willing to die for anything for this country? Okay, it's a simple question we are asking, and we are asking it a poll that we put up on my Joy Online. Are you willing to die for anything to make this country better? Some very interesting reactions are coming through. Overwhelmingly, the answer is something that we'll reveal on Ghana Connect. So please join us and have a conversation. Okay, and the time again, Evans, is 6 p.m.? It's 6 to 7. Is this on both radio and TV? No, or is this just on radio? Okay, so make a date with Evans Mensah and the crew on Ghana Connect. They'll be talking about who killed the judges. What is there to learn that we don't take for granted, the democracy that we enjoy? Let me get on the phone lines and read for you the questions, see who can answer and who gets my gift. Isaac from Kumasi. Isaac.
Yes, madam.
Have you watched the documentary?
I just watched a few seconds of the documentary.
Okay, you have 30 seconds to answer these questions. Who were the judges who were killed?
Hello?
Yes, Isaac, who were the judges who were killed? Give me the names of the judges that were killed. Isaac, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Isaac, you need to turn down the volume on your set. You've got 9 seconds, Isaac.
I can hear you.
Who were the judges who were killed?
Japan.
Okay, Isaac has run out of time. Let's go to Samuel at Tiemu. Samuel, who were the judges that were killed? You have 30 seconds.
Yes, Sister Franklin, Sister Japan. I think I forgot to say the last one.
Sorry, say that again.
Cecilia Cranton, Jessica Cranton, Sister Japan, and I think I forget the last one.
Well, you have 10 seconds, 9 seconds to go. Who was the army general amongst them?
Major General Aqua.
Okay.
Retired.
Somehow, you ran out of time as well. Okay, let's go to Carl. Hello, Carl. Carl, can you hear me? Okay, I've lost Carl, but so far I've had 2 persons trying to answer the questions. The first one, Isaac, I'm not sure was successful, but the second one, he tried. We'll announce the winners at the end of the show. But do I have another person on the line at the moment? Okay, so we're still taking you through the questions, and if you get to answer them for me, you'll be able to win a gift that I will be giving you. Evans is still here with me in the studio. Evans, what do you think?
I mean, right there is a justification for the documentary. They don't even know the names of the judges who were killed. A country that misses out on its history, doesn't know its history, cannot move forward. You cannot look forward to the future if you don't access where you're coming from. That is why this documentary is important. If I was in your shoes until I watched the documentary, I didn't know.
You didn't know.
I didn't know. I heard the judges were killed. I know the only thing I knew was Kwabena Japon's father was one of them.
Evans, hold on. I have Joel on the line. Hello, Joel.
Hello.
Joel, you have 30 seconds once I finish my question. Who were the judges that were killed?
Come again.
Who were the judges that were killed?
Plantinado,
24 seconds more.
yeah, Plantinado, Japan, and then Ado.
Okay, 10 seconds more you've got. Which of the accused was executed before he was pronounced guilty? Okay, Joel, unfortunately, time ran out on you. I have Ivy on the line. Hello, Ivy. Ivy, name for me the judges who were killed. We've lost Ivy as well. Evans, back to you.
Yeah, I mean, so it just illustrates a point I was making earlier. Look, we need to do more of these. The thing about us as a people is we don't read much.
Right? Okay.
We don't read much when it's in the books. So maybe the best way to do this is through documentaries. We don't document our history enough. We have foreigners come to document our history for us. A lot of the most brilliant documentaries about the pre- and post-independent era, BBC documentaries. In fact, we still watch them today. We still have the footage. We don't do much about our own history, and that is why investing in something like this is important. People say, oh yeah, it's raw, you're going to reopen wounds.
Yeah.
Yes, but if you don't assess your history, where you've come from, it's difficult to go forward. And people are struggling to tell you what
and I'm still at my number one question.
And
I've got like 10 questions.
Without these three judges, probably the rule of law that we currently take for granted would not be as strong as it is today. I mean, all these individuals can talk freely on radio, and a huge chunk of that gratitude will have to go to those three judges.
I've got two more people. Let's see if they can help us. They got the answers. Benjamin, who were the judges that were killed?
We have Justice Sarkodie.
Okay.
Justice Sarkodie.
Three of them, go ahead.
Justice Quentin and Justice J.
Who was the army general among them?
Major retired Aqua.
Who were those accused?
Ametekwe and Amedeka.
Wow, I think that Benjamin has done quite well. Benjamin, we'll get back to you. We've got people who are monitoring to make sure that you're answering the question. Is that my final caller, or do I have another caller? Benjamin. Okay. So I guess that's where we end it, right? But Evans, again, so you can finish up your point.
Yeah, I mean, so that's why people need to follow the conversations on Ghana Connect tonight. We'll see where we are as a country in assessing our values.
Okay. Evans Mensah is head of our political desk here. He's also host of Ghana Connect. This evening, he is connecting on who killed the judges. A lot more information. Like he said, what we've just done proves that we still need a lot of these documentaries. And if you haven't watched it, just go onto YouTube and you can find it there. Who Killed the Judges? You surely will find it. Get yourself updated. Get to know a little bit more about your history. But most importantly, join the conversation on Ghana Connect at 6 p.m. on Joy 99.7 FM with Evans and the crew.